be in your face. We are gonna be on your ass.
We will win. We will win.
Gretchen.
Yes, so they need, the Democrats need a real...
Coming up, Schumer's democracy tantrum, a reporter's Gaza genocide lie, and why Democrats want your taxes funding terrorists. 3 meltdowns. 6 minutes, 0 mercy. First meltdown. Chuck Schumer claims we have days to save democracy. From what? The 74 million Americans who voted Trump? Let's watch the theatrics.
Democrats agree that Musk is a problem, but listen to them today, and they have a piñata in search of a stick.
To our Republican colleagues, if you do not see the light, we will bring the fire. Resist!
We are going to be in your face. We are going to be on your asses.
We have days to stop the destruction of our democracy. We have work to do. Tell Elon Musk to take his hands off your money. We don't pledge allegiance to the creepy 22-year-olds working for Elon Musk. We pledge allegiance to the United States of America.
And goddamn it, shut down the city! We are at war!
We will win. We will win. We won't rest. We won't rest.
Gretchen.
Yes, so they need, the Democrats need a real leader, okay? They need a real leader, which currently does not exist in the Democratic Party. And they have been caught completely flat-footed with the entire Trump presidency for the last 2 weeks. And Elon Musk, I said on CNN months ago that Elon Musk would be the most influential advisor to President Trump, and that is proving to be true, whether you like it or not. But Democrats should have had a plan for this. They knew it was coming. We say this every single night.
2025.
We knew it.
Just talked about.
We knew it. Trump has said all of these things were going to happen. We saw him align with Elon Musk, which may go down as the smartest thing that any presidential candidate has ever done, from the young vote to tech to a million other things. So Democrats needed to have a plan, and it may be too late.
Yeah, Bakari, are you fired up after?
I'm fired up and ready to go. Can't you see it in my face?
I think the highlight reel that you just played, spliced with the highlight reel of all the people trying to run the Democratic National Committee at their organizational meeting, ought to be put together, and we ought to take money from the Republican National Committee and play it on a loop. Ladies and gentlemen, the American left is so far off the rails, they're going to have to get Google Maps to find their way back. They are way gone right now, and it's glorious.
Thank you.
Notice how they never mention Biden's 37% approval rating? Or that 68% of Americans want border security over Gaza aid? Trump's winning, so they panic. Democrats are literally shaking. Smash that like button. If you love watching liberals panic, share this video faster than Schumer's interns leak Musk memos. And subscribe. We're just getting started draining the swamp. Next up, a reporter accuses Israel of genocide. Let's dissect this fiction. 132 Hamas rockets fired today. 98% of Gaza casualties equals combatants. $200 million Biden sent Hamas last month.
But also every UN resolution, it's a violation of International Court of Justice and International Criminal Court resolutions. What they are saying tonight to the world and to the international community, international law is dead.
It's dead. Is international law dead? Because I think Rula is right in suggesting that that's basically what Trump is suggesting. Forcibly removing Palestinians from their land is against international law.
I think we're being a little dramatic, and we're on our jump to conclusions, Matt, here a little bit. He muses occasionally.
Take him at his word.
He muses occasionally.
Look,
and
just to be clear,
it's
because you're suggesting that we are making this up or
no, I'm not suggesting
exaggerating
anything.
it.
No, you're putting words in my mouth.
Well,
I'm saying you and I both know he muses occasionally, and he's aspirational, and he says provocative things occasionally.
I really don't want to interrupt you, but I just, for my own, I think I have to come to my own defense here in saying Donald Trump, with his own words, said this is what he wants to do. He wasn't musing. He was looking down at a piece of paper. I've been in a room with him, just like that, with foreign leaders, looking down at a piece of paper. He is reading a statement that was prepared for him. Those are not musings.
Well, Scott, what happened to America first? This is the guy who was supposed to take us out of the endless wars, said he's against nation building. He railed against IM.
I know. Playing the role of Catherine tonight.
Are you for the ethnic cleansing or against it?
Look, I don't know that I agree with the terminology you're using. Here's what I think. It's provocative. It's an interesting conversation point. Donald Trump, he's the only person in the world speaking positively about this particular geography right now. And I will just say that in the first term, he did something rather audacious with the Abraham Accords, highly successful. He's always thought positively and aspirationally about the Middle East. And I would just ask all of you all who are enraged about this, how's it going right now? How's the current management doing?
Why
not
is
really,
why
not
is
really all that
Hamas-
well.
Answer you, and that's
Terrible.
that's because of Americans' weapons and American inability to enforce.
You're blaming
you know,
us for the management problems in Gaza? Come on.
Wasn't doing a great job before.
Okay, let's be honest. We have a 58-year-old occupation that is illegal, that decimated people's hopes and lives, and I am the only Palestinian here. And I must say that it honestly, the fact that we are not able to put in perspective that's the history of that region. Before October 7th, hundreds of people were killed. After October 7th, still thousands and thousands of people are getting killed.
And what happened
for
on that day?
58 years.
What happened on that day?
You know what? What happened on that day? Actually, Secret Service of Israel have been predicted what happened on that day. What happened on that day is we had basically, a border that was, breached because we have a government in Israel, and as I am an Israeli-Palestinian government, we had a government in Israel that favored annexation and pogroms in the West Bank.
I'm just asking
Not
what
only
happened that day.
I want to tell you something. We had a government, we had the prime minister who said Hamas is an asset. We need to finance Hamas. He's the one that sent to Doha, the head of the Secret Service, 3 weeks before October 7th, to ask the Qataris to finance Hamas.
But you don't want to
They
say what happened.
considered-
You don't want to say what happened that day.
It's an atrocity that happened that day.
Yeah,
But
and
that
where, and from
atrocity
where did
is
it
a
emanate?
That atrocity is it doesn't justify the atrocities and the war crimes and the genocidal campaign that happened after
I totally reject everything you just said about genocide, war crimes. Israel has every right to defend itself.
I don't want us to get. I don't want us to get off course because I think that it is easy to redirect this conversation about October 7th when what we're talking about right now is what happens today and tomorrow and what comes next. And I want to ask you just a follow up to what you said. Hold on, a follow up to what you said. Trump is talking positively about the region, but in his view of Gaza, the Palestinians do not exist. How is that something that is positive for Palestinians? 2 million people that live there right now.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't give a lot of details about how he envisions the future for that population, and I certainly am not in a position to flesh it out either, because I don't know what he means by that. Here's what I do know. Current management failing, a president of the United States who's speaking positively about what could be happening in that region, and you all talk about the Middle East being on fire, and nobody seems to want to acknowledge on whose watch it was set ablaze. And so, I think sometimes he talks about, and it's to start a conversation and we'll see where it goes.
Hey, I doubt it. Okay.
Funny how liberals never mention Hamas uses hospitals as bases, or that 83% of Gazans support October 7th attacks. But sure, blame America. Final meltdown. Democrats rage over Trump purging bureaucrats. Why? Let's expose their swamp. 91% of IRS audits target middle class. EPA blocked 12,000 U.S. energy jobs. $400 billion wasted on Ukraine versus $0 on North Carolina hurricane relief.
That's an important question. Why is it, Scott, that Elon Musk claims that it is a crime to tweet out the names of the 6 individuals who I have to assume are government employees, maybe they're not, who are going around and carrying out his orders and telling people, for example, to not come into work at an entire federal agency, who are going into the Treasury asking for access to a sensitive payment system? How is it a crime to know who those people are?
I don't know if it's a crime or not. I think it's certainly untoward to try to because you're trying to stick an angry mob on people who are showing up to try to
First of all,
act on behalf of the President of the United
this is
States.
his platform, okay? If his own platform is an angry mob, that's one thing, but he also does this all the time. And these are people who are doing things that affect Americans. They're working in the government, so I don't see why it needs to be a secret.
They're doing things that affect the bureaucracy, which is why you see all the rage today.
You don't think that this stuff affects Americans, Scott?
I mean, yeah, probably in a positive way. And I'm glad to see Democrats are coming around to the idea that the unelected people who might be involved in the running of our country are important, because you seem to have no interest in that for the last 4 years under the last administration. Here's the bottom line. The American people, you know what that means is that you had a president who was not functional, and you know it.
Actually, by that same token, I mean, if you're concerned about the people around Joe Biden running the government, why aren't you concerned about?
Because I don't have any concern that this president is functional. He's a functional president, and Musk is an agent of the president.
Why are you not concerned that Elon Musk is, according to a lot of reports, someone that no one around the president wants to even cross because he's so powerful, and he has leverage over this president because he spent $250 million to get him elected?
Look, the president was elected. He runs the government. Elon Musk is an agent of the executive branch at the direction of the president. And as the president said today, he's not doing anything that he doesn't have permission to do. And I will just remind you all, one of the things he was elected to do is to shake up Washington, stop doing business as usual, and rein in an out-of-control bureaucracy that, as the Congresswoman correctly pointed out, is spending money in ways that was never intended.
They're terrified because Trump's firing the pencil pushers who blocked border walls and pushed CRT in schools. Drain the swamp. Patriots, this is war. Every like kills a liberal lie. Every share drains the swamp. Smash subscribe like you're slamming the door on AOC's Amazon wish list. Now sound off, should Trump prioritize border walls or deep state firings first? Comment below. Your voice fuels this movement. Stay angry, stay free,